Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Billy and Molly, an Otter love story. This is listed as a documentary. To me, it seems a documentary. It's a National Geographic thing, so it tends to fall into that kind of thing. And you'd expect this to be talking about otters. Yeah, the otter is Molly. That's right there. That's Molly. That's Billy, right there. And you get the idea that it's good. We're going to learn about otters and their lifestyles and what they do and how they feed their young and how they, all that kind of detail. No, we don't get any of that. It is a love story. It's a story of a man. He and his wife, his name's Billy, and his wife Susan, and it's narrated by him and her at different points. They're. I know I'm going to be hated if I say this wrong, but they live in Shetland, which is like North Atlantic, almost as north as you can get in the UK, almost. And I don't want to say they're English. They have a certain lilt to their accents that I don't know why I can't. It's not so strong that it's Scottish, or Irish. It's not a strong brogue, but either way, they're from the UK. We'll say that. I don't know my areas as well as I'd like to. Let's say that. So they're easy to understand, even for Americans. So what we get here is a couple in their middle age, just sort of almost retirement. It doesn't seem like they had kids at any point, but they moved. He decided to move out just sort of to the wilderness, not wilderness, just far enough away that they're brushing up against strong winds of the North Atlantic and the strong seas of the North Atlantic. And it can be pretty harsh. It could be pretty out there. It's remote. And you don't see any neighbors. You don't see any kids coming by to visit. You could kind of tell that Billy is kind of struggling with something. He seems a little depressed. He seems, even though he has the love of his wife, seems a little lonely. He has a job still. He's still working to pay the bills, even in this remote, very simple house. You don't get the idea that they're also like watching TV every day. I don't remember seeing a TV in any of the shots. Maybe I just wasn't looking at the right time. They're not playing tons of like crazy music. I mean, it's not like the TV has the Real Housewives of Glasgow on it. It's just seriously, it's a quiet life, and that's all right for some people. And Billy and Molly, they seem to be pretty accustomed to it. But something comes along, and that's Molly. As he's out in his boat, he starts to get to know this strange little otter that befriends him. He befriends her and gives her fish. And they get closer and closer, as a human and otter can be. It's not like they're hugging or anything, and they're just like playfully, they have a connection. And Molly comes and visits every day, and it's something that suddenly you see a change. Susan sees a change in her husband. It feels like he's missed something, and he's got it through Molly. And you see a lot of the reflections in this story of raising a child and then letting her go to meet a boy. And whenever there is a point where she does meet a male otter, every time he makes up a name for him as well as Molly. Of course, because Molly didn't just walk up and go, "Hi, I'm an otter. My name's Molly." That doesn't happen. So he gives the other otter a name. I'm not really sure what it was, but every time he says it, it has a sort of like a disdainful tone to it. This is utterly charming, and I have to, for those of you who worry about these kind of things, I am going to spoil just one major element of this film. Usually when you deal with stories with people befriending animals, you see the cycle of life being expressed through this. I'm going to tell you right now, no. Our characters, nobody dies. No humans, no otters that have been named die in this. So if you're expecting a sweet, loving, adorable thing just to have your face smashed in at the end when somebody dies, the otter dies, or Billy dies, or Susan dies, or something else, where it just sort of like just makes you burst into tears at the end, that is not happening. I'm just making it clear that this is something between the music, the choice of music, just it's ethereal. It's just the music to me. I almost, if they have the soundtrack to this, I kind of want it. It's so chill. This is the kind of thing you can watch in between just hearing them talk and the music and the sound of the waves nearby and the sound of the otter, of Molly. It's really relaxing. It's something that I think you can really enjoy. It's just something that I think you can just chill and relax in. Even if this is not, you're not here to be educated, you might learn something about otters. You might learn something about the North Atlantic and just the way of life out there. You might, and that's great. That's okay. That's National Geographic's all about. But this is, more than anything, exactly what the title says. It's a love story about two people needing each other, maybe to different degrees and for different reasons, and sometimes without a conscious understanding as to how they have an effect on the other. It's pretty great. It's pretty fun. It's I don't want to say fun. I don't want to keep saying fun. It's sweet. And I think it's something that's definitely, I'm glad I watched it. I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't know. Sometimes they cornball it up in a lot of cases. I think there's a lot of realistic assessment, especially in the voice of Susan as she appears in this, where she's just like, she has a pretty decent observation as to how Billy handles the coming and going of Molly. She doesn't always hang around, especially when she gets a boy. So, but yeah, that all plays out in the story. I'm not really spoiled a whole lot, circle of life, but it's not Lion King level circle of life. Just saying that right now. I highly recommend it. It's something that you just can't find in other documentaries, or even just independent films. It straddles that level between the two, and people are genuine, and they're funny, and it's I think this is something you could probably put on at bedtime and just fall asleep blissfully dreaming of otters. So come back. There we go. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 93. What do we got at 93? 93. Oh, we got a short, or it might be a series of shorts. I'm pretty sure this is a series. But yeah. But it's also very Disney. This is How Not to Draw. So I'm going to take a look at a few episodes. I know of them, and I think there's even a Star Wars one. I might just go out of my way to watch the first one, and maybe, depending on how long they are, I might grab the Star Wars one. I might draw along. Ooh, that's an idea. Let's see how my drawing turns out at the end of the episode. That might be interesting, or not. Terrifying. Anyway, I'll see you back here tomorrow with How Not to Draw on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.